Imagine a place where the very air bites, where endless white stretches to the horizon, a land synonymous with exile and extreme hardship. This is Siberia, a name whispered in fear and awe throughout history. For centuries, it was a frozen prison, a realm where human endurance was tested to its absolute breaking point. But within its chilling embrace lies an extraordinary tale of survival. The story of 300 men, stripped of everything but their will, who faced the ultimate winter. When food vanished, hope dwindled, and death loomed, they turned to an unthinkable last resort. They ate their leather belts. This is not just a story of hunger. It's a testament to the primal human instinct to cling to life, no matter the cost. For generations, Siberia stood as Imperial Russia's desolate heart of punishment, the infamous katorga. Political dissidents, rebels, and common criminals were condemned to its unforgiving expanse, a journey from which many never returned. They were shipped like cargo, miles dissolving into an eternity of suffering, their past lives melting away with each agonizing step. Their only crime, often, was to challenge a power that saw dissent as an existential threat. These were not just criminals. They were human beings sent to the edge of the known world, their fates sealed by the Tsar's decree. The journey itself was a brutal prologue to the horrors that awaited. Shackled, ill-fed, and exposed to the elements, thousands perished on the Oedipi, the forced marches across endless plains and formidable mountains. Families torn apart, dignity stripped away, they were forced deeper and deeper into the wilderness. With every frozen step, the world they knew receded, replaced by the stark, terrifying reality of a land designed to break the spirit. Hope, a fragile ember, flickered with each passing day, threatening to extinguish completely amidst the biting winds. Then came the Siberian winter, a force of nature so absolute, it dwarfed human suffering. Temperatures plummeted to unimaginable lows, turning breath to ice and exposed skin to numb oblivion. Blizzards roared, burying camps under mountains of snow, isolating them completely from the outside world. This was not merely cold. It was an active antagonist, a malevolent entity seeking to snuff out every spark of life. The landscape transformed into an alien realm of white death, silent save for the howl of the wind and the creaking of desperate structures. Within the confines of the katorga camps, survival hinged on meager rations, a crust of black bread, watery kasha, and sometimes a piece of salted fish. But as winter deepened, supply lines fractured. Roads became impassable, rivers froze solid, and the promised provisions never arrived. The already insufficient food dwindled, then vanished. Hunger, a dull ache at first, sharpened into a ravenous beast, gnawing at bellies, blurring minds, and consuming all thoughts. It was a silent, insidious enemy, more relentless than any guard. As days turned into weeks without sustenance, desperation took hold. Men began to collapse, their bodies too weak to fight the cold or the hunger. The thought of death, once a distant fear, now seemed a looming certainty. Yet, in the darkest hour, a whisper of a desperate idea began to circulate. It started as a rumor, then a shared gaze of understanding among those too weak to speak. They looked at their belts, their boots, anything made of leather, materials that once symbolized their connection to a former life, now promising a gruesome reprieve. These were not mere accessories. They were sturdy, often handmade articles crafted for durability in a harsh world. Belts held trousers, carried tools. Boots protected feet from frostbite. They were a link to craftsmanship, to home, to a life before katorga. Now, these everyday objects transformed into a symbol of dire survival. What once represented order and utility now represented a horrifying final meal. The leather, tough and fibrous, offered a cruel irony, a connection to life, yet a painful reminder of how far they had fallen. Consuming leather was no simple feat. it required ingenuity born of extreme hunger. First, the leather had to be softened, boiled in what little melted snow they could procure, sometimes for days, to break down its tough fibers. Then, painstakingly, it would be cut into small, chewable strips, often scorched over a weak fire to render it slightly more palatable. It offered no nutrition, only a temporary bulk, a psychological illusion of satiety. Every bite was a battle against the gag reflex, a testament to their unwavering will to live. Each strip of leather was a victory, but a hollow one. It filled the stomach but offered negligible sustenance, leading to severe gastrointestinal distress, illness, and continued emaciation. Their bodies, already weakened by cold and labor, deteriorated further. Yet it gave them something, a reason to keep going, a moment of relief from the incessant gnawing. It bought them time, a precious, painful extension of life that pushed the inevitable further away. The mental fortitude to continue this gruesome ritual was as vital as the act itself. In this abyss of deprivation, something remarkable emerged, an unbreakable camaraderie. Strangers became brothers, bound by the shared ordeal. They pooled their meager resources, a sliver of leather, a spark of fire, and offered each other unwavering support. This collective spirit, this silent pact of survival, became as crucial as any physical nourishment. They became each other's keepers, their shared suffering forging a bond stronger than any chain. This was the ultimate defiance against a system designed to isolate and conquer. As the brutal Siberian winter slowly began to loosen its grip, the first whispers of spring brought a fragile, cautious hope. The days lengthened imperceptibly, the sun offered a hint of warmth, and the distant promise of melting snow brought dreams of flowing water and eventually new growth. Yet, the thaw itself presented new dangers, treacherous ice, mud, and the heightened risk of illness from stagnant water. It was a long, agonizing transition, each day a battle fought against the lingering cold and the deep-seated hunger. When spring finally embraced the land, the 300 men who survived bore the indelible marks of their ordeal. Emaciated, weakened, and forever changed, they carried not only physical scars but profound psychological wounds. The memory of the leather feast would haunt them, a chilling reminder of how close they came to the abyss. Yet they had endured. They had stared death in the face, and, against all odds, had pulled back from the brink, forever redefined by the extreme measures they took to preserve the most fundamental human right, life itself. The story of these 300 men who gnawed on their leather belts to cheat death in the Siberian winter transcends simple history. It is a legend that echoes through time, a stark reminder of the boundless depths of human suffering and the indomitable power of the human spirit. Their desperate act serves as a profound testament to resilience, resourcefulness, and the will to survive against impossible odds. It forces us to confront the fragility of life and the incredible strength hidden within us all, waiting for its ultimate test. The tale of the 300 men who survived Siberian winter by eating their leather belts is more than just a historical anecdote. It is a primal scream of defiance against the jaws of oblivion. It reminds us that even when all seems lost, when the body screams for surrender, the human spirit can find a way. Their story, forged in ice and desperation, continues to inspire, teaching us that true strength lies not just in power, but in the unwavering refusal to yield, in the extraordinary lengths we will go to, simply to live. This legend, like the frozen land itself, will forever echo the enduring mystery of survival.